Okay, so definitely things are about to start getting spicy. Apparently, Russia decided to destroy a American company in Ukraine. Um, okay, I want to know a couple of things here. Is this a company that we specifically built, or was this specifically given to us in kind of the land deal, the mineral deal? I wonder. I think that's going to make a kind of a large difference, but still not much of a difference because if it's ours, and you attacked it, right? But either way, let's see where this video takes us.
Force says Russia fired 574 drones and 40 missiles overnight. The strikes killing one and leaving 15 others injured. Some video here of those explosions being heard over Kyiv as people seek shelter in the capital's metro stations. Air raid sirens being heard overhead there. Leaders there say the attack also struck a major American electronics manufacturer in western Ukraine.
В Мукачеві росіяни фактично спалили підприємство. До речі, американське підприємство виробника електротехніки, і це побутові електроприлади, нічого воєнного. Росіяни точно знали, куди б'ють. Це був ракетний удар.
Okay, the problem is that that Zelensky is going to say that because he really wants us to fight his fight. If that makes any sense here. Could it be plausible that they specifically knew that it was an American facility, or the fact that they launched over 500, that it was kind of just, we're going to hit there, and there, right? I wonder. This is it right here. Cruise missiles. Could it be deliberate though, guys? It could be deliberate. It could be deliberate. Like knowing how Putin kind of moves. It could definitely be deliberate.
So this is one of the safest places in Ukraine. Over the last nearly 4 years, this has been a really safe place. And today, overnight, we saw Russian missiles directly target American business.
Okay, guys, hold on. Okay, yeah, I think so. I think so, guys. Yeah, I think that's the case.
Not want peace. Russia is intending to continue the destruction, the death, and the destroying Ukraine. And that's very, very concerning. And this is something we want President Trump to see, to understand that Russia is destroying American business in Ukraine. Russia is destroying Ukraine and those values that America has stood for and that continues to stand for.
Okay, yeah, because guys, after that meeting, I was just like, hold on, guys, nothing is going to happen past here. Nothing is going to happen. Of course not. Nothing can really happen. It could just be like, hey, listen, we're going to go ahead and launch over 500 missiles for the sole purpose of, obviously creating a scene. Then at the same time, what if we accidentally strike an American facility? Yeah, because guys, like Putin definitely has that type of energy, though.
Це був цілеспрямований удар саме по американській
He does have the
власності
energy.
тут, в Україні, по американських інвестиціях. Дуже показовий удар. Як і вся ця масована атака. Якраз коли світ очікує від росіян чіткої відповіді щодо перемовин про закінчення війни. Є два формати, в яких реально досягти прогресу. І це формати на рівні лідерів, двосторонній формат Україна та Росія і тристоронній Україна, Сполучені Штати, Росія. Ми обговорювали це у Вашингтоні.
Because guys, like you never know. Like Trump could have like sneezed or something and it offended Putin, and Putin was just like, we're gonna take out one of your facilities. It could be that. Was that before or after this attack?
Donald Trump has posted a cryptic message on social media,
Let's see it.
potentially encouraging Ukraine to attack Russia. The US president posted on his Truth Social account, it says it is very hard, if not impossible, to win a war without attacking an invader's country. It's like a great team in sports that has a fantastic defence but is not allowed to play offence. There is no chance of winning. It is like that with Ukraine and Russia. Crooked and grossly incompetent Joe Biden, he says, would not let Ukraine fight back, only defend. How did that work out?
Yeah, that's definitely. I wouldn't even call that a cryptic message. I wouldn't even say that. Trump is basically saying, bro, listen, does everyone have to fight your own your battles, bro? Go ahead and do something about this. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. Cryptic, no.
Now, Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov poured hot water on the idea of European peacekeeping forces in Ukraine, but he says Vladimir Putin is willing to meet Vladimir Zelensky.
Our president has repeatedly said that he is ready to meet, including with Mr. Zelensky, with the understanding that all issues that require consideration at the highest level will be well worked out and experts and ministers will prepare the appropriate recommendations.
Ivor Bennett reports here from Moscow.
I think these latest comments from Sergei Lavrov make it pretty clear that Russia is in no hurry to reach a peace deal, because for a second day in a row now,
I mean, they're up,
Russia's
guys.
foreign minister has poured some pretty cold water on Donald Trump's attempts to end the conflict. On the issue of security guarantees for Ukraine, he called the current discussions hopeless because they don't involve Moscow. You might remember a few days ago, Washington said that Russia had agreed to NATO-style security guarantees for Ukraine in the future, but details still haven't been forthcoming. So everyone's trying to work out what that looks like. Europe has raised the prospects of putting boots on the ground, but that's clearly not gone down well in Russia, with Sergei Lavrov accusing Europe today of trying to undermine the progress, he said, made at last week's summit in Alaska between Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump. I think trying to drive a wedge there between Europe and the US, hoping that the US president doesn't get swayed by Europe's concern. And he said that the only guarantee Russia would be willing to accept is one that would involve them, essentially giving them a veto over how Ukraine is defended in the future. And that's clearly not something Kyiv is going to sign up to. So an agreement on security guarantees still seems as distant as ever, and so does this potential meeting between Volodymyr Zelensky and Vladimir Putin. On that, Sergei Lavrov said that there are issues that need to be resolved first, trotting out that common line we hear that all these caveats need to be sorted out first. Basically, Moscow doesn't see Zelensky as a legitimate leader of Ukraine, and Lavrov said that that needs to be ironed out before any peace deal is signed. So despite all this optimism we've had this week from Donald Trump that we are closer to a peace deal, two fundamental stumbling blocks seem to remain, and Moscow is in no obvious hurry to find a way round that. And despite Russia's talk of peace, a lot of war remains, with this latest attack on Ukraine last night being the biggest in more than a month. According to Kyiv, Russia fired 574 drones and 40 missiles, and among the sites hit was this American electronics factory. According to Ukraine, it produces consumer electronics, coffee machines, but that was a site that was hit. A lot of people injured there. It'll be interesting to see how Donald Trump reacts to that. All we've heard from the US president is a fairly cryptic post on social media in which he says, "It's very hard, if not impossible, to win a war without attacking an invader's country." Potentially, he's signalling there that the door is open to more US military support for Ukraine. We don't know, but everyone's scratching their heads, and I'm sure the Kremlin is, as to what exactly Donald Trump means there.
Yeah, I can definitely tell you. Like, as of right now, Trump kind of has to do something, kind of by default, or say something. And I'm guessing that's why he said what he said specifically, right? I mean, obviously, he's still not going to say, "Hey, listen, America needs to go full blown, head first into this scenario." He's not saying that. He's saying you guys need to stand up for yourself right now, right? But the fact that now an American facility was hit, I mean, by default, you'd have to kind of stand up for that just a tad bit here. So I'm sure within the next upcoming days, this is going to absolutely escalate, because these things always escalate. Right? They never, for some reason, subside. I would definitely love for them to start subsiding, but Putin is Putin. Putin absolutely strongly detests the Ukraine, strongly detests it, and I understand why. Right? they're so drastically different in ideology, specifically, that he is scared to death that people in Russia will start to like, let's say, what people in the Ukraine are doing and how they're living their lives. Right? It's a big difference here. Okay. And the language is not too far off. So imagine, right? Pay attention to the democracy-oriented media that's coming out of the Ukraine, and you'll start to realize why Putin is super pissed off. Right? And he has no real interest in stopping this. He doesn't have to. He's the aggressor. He's the winner of this battle. Like if he wanted to tomorrow completely, end the Ukraine, he could. Let's just say that there, based off of all of what they have, let's say, even though it is very aging, let's say that there. Okay, let me try to be nice here. It's very aging. I do think that Europe would massively enter into this kerfuffle here. I definitely do not think that Russia should have any type of say on who is running the Ukraine. Let's start right there. That's not a good thing specifically for that nation, because then they're basically just Russia, right? And that's obviously what he wants. He wants to kind of remove the government from the Ukraine and inject his own, because that's what bothers him, guys. What bothers him the most is that. All right. The Ukraine has a completely different ideology on ways to kind of live life and to kind of move through society, let's say, and who should be able to vote and whose vote counts and matters, etc. Right? They've gone through, for the most part, a suffrage versus Russia, whereas it's like, I'm gonna be ruler forever. I'm gonna go ahead and make a fake president that has no power and still rule it, because you're still gonna talk to me, not the president. That's Russia. All right. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. And in the meantime, I will catch you guys later, all right?